Imagine walking deep into the wilderness where the trees grow so thick the sunlight barely filters through. The air is heavy, silent, except for the faint rustle of wind through branches. You stumble across something that shouldn't be there. A patch of fog that doesn't move with the breeze. A cave mouth that seems to whisper with its own song. For centuries, people have told stories of hidden doorways, portals to other realms, and strange caverns where the unlucky vanish forever. Tonight, we're diving into some of those mysteries, accounts of real people, real places, and disappearances that leave us wondering if the world around us is far stranger than we dare to admit. Welcome back to Missing Persons Archives. Usually, we focus on individual cases of people who vanish without explanation, but sometimes the stories aren't just about the missing, it's about the places tied to their disappearance. Places rumored to connect our reality to something beyond. Tonight, we'll trace 3 chilling legends. A prospector's encounter with a possible interdimensional portal in the Canadian wilderness, a cursed Wisconsin cave tied to vanishings and folklore, and the enduring mystery of boys who entered a cave system in Missouri only to disappear without a trace. Our first story begins in the late 1960s, far out in the remote Canadian Northwest Territories. In the summer of 1968, a prospector named Alex M. and his partner, Väinö Heimonen, were out in the wild on behalf of a Vancouver mining company. Their work was tedious and, by all accounts, uneventful. For weeks, they searched barren ground for mineral deposits and came up with nothing. But on their last day in the field, they found something extraordinary. It started with a gouge in the earth, a strange gully 50 feet long and 4 feet wide. Inside lay piles of oddly shaped rocks, most covered in moss and lichen as if they'd been undisturbed for ages. But stranger still was the fog. Hovering over the depression was a perfectly shaped tube of mist, standing still, completely unaffected by the wind. Curious, the men climbed closer. On top of the pile sat 2 large banana-shaped boulders. Scattered among them were dozens of translucent stones, smooth as glass, almost gelatinous in appearance. Alex compared them to frogs' eggs. Alex later recalled that when he leaned near the fog, he felt something off, a pressure in the air, a vibration. It was as if the atmosphere itself was pushing against him, warning him to stay back. But curiosity overcame him, and he stepped inside. Immediately, the world changed. Alex said he was no longer in the mossy gully. Before him stretched a grassy field that rippled in the wind. The grass grew taller with every step he took, soon reaching up to his chest. In the distance, he swore he saw a circle of trees with 2 towering palms in the middle, something that made no sense in the boreal forest of northern Canada. A dread filled him, a voice. He didn't know if it was in his head or coming from somewhere else, warned him not to go further. His mind went blank, and the next thing he knew, he was on his hands and knees, scrambling out of the mist, completely drained. When he looked up, the fog still hovered in place. And then he saw them. 2 men standing within the mist, hovering 3 feet above the ground. They were tall, over 6 feet, with long salt and pepper hair and beards. Their faces looked human, Caucasian, but they had no eyes. Their robes hung down to their calves and both wore sandals. One appeared to sit in an invisible chair, resting his chin in his hand like Rodin's famous statue, The Thinker. They didn't speak. They only watched. Terrified, Alex stumbled back to camp, never telling his partner what he had seen. He did, however, write to his brother. Later, he sent samples of the stones to a geologist who admitted he had no idea what they were made of. Alex never went back. He never sought publicity. And that, to me, makes the story all the more unsettling. If it was a hoax, why not seek attention? Instead, Alex buried it, only confiding in family. Was it a hallucination? A brush with something paranormal? Or did he really step into another dimension, one that was watching him back? Our second tale takes us back further, into the heart of Wisconsin folklore. Caves have always been mysterious places, dark, hidden, places where myths and monsters dwell. But one cave in particular, known today only as the Death Song Cave, is said to have swallowed entire groups of people. According to Ho-Chunk tradition, it began when 2 young boys went missing near the Wisconsin River. The tribe's best trackers followed their trail straight to the mouth of a cave. 2 men went in. Hours passed, but they never came out. More were sent in. They too vanished. Eventually, only 2 searchers remained. Terrified, they ran back to the chief, Great Eagle, with the grim news. Determined, Great Eagle returned with 100 of his best warriors. This time they joined hands, forming a chain so no one would lose their way. As they entered, the first man in line suddenly vanished. His hand slipped from the next, and then the second man disappeared. Then the third. It was as if the cave itself was consuming them one by one. The survivors broke ranks and fled. Great Eagle forbade anyone from ever entering again, but his curiosity gnawed at him. He returned later, sending 2 trusted warriors deep inside. What they found chilled them to the bone. In a chamber at the back of the cave, dozens of human skeletons lay scattered, or worse, carefully arranged. Arms outstretched, bodies placed in formations as if someone or something had laid them out deliberately. Terrified, they fled. The cave was sealed and left alone. But the legend didn't die. In the 1880s, a German immigrant named Paul Seifert stumbled upon it while artifact hunting. He and a companion ventured in, and like the warriors before them, found piles of skeletons. But what they heard was different. Seifert said the cave echoed with the howls of madmen and the moans of the dying. He never revealed the entrance. He died in 1921, taking the secret with him. Today, the Death Song Cave remains hidden somewhere among Wisconsin's bluffs, its exact location lost to time. Caves swallow sound. They play tricks on the eyes. They can be deadly. But when legends stretch across generations, stories of warriors, children, and hunters who never came out, we have to wonder if there's something more. Could this cave be a natural gateway, a trap between worlds, or simply a story to keep children away from dangerous caverns? Our last case takes us to Missouri in 1967, Hannibal, the boyhood home of Mark Twain. That year, construction crews uncovered part of an underground cave system. For local kids, it was irresistible. Among them were brothers Joey and Billy Hogue, ages 13 and 11, and their friend Craig Dowell, age 14. On May 9th, the boys were seen near Murphy's Cave with flashlights and shovels. Witnesses reported spotting them around 4:30 in the afternoon. After that, they vanished. Their parents expected them home for dinner. When they didn't return, the town erupted into a massive search. The Mark Twain Emergency Squad, police, volunteers, even the Missouri National Guard combed through the caves and the surrounding area. Sniffer dogs traced their scent to the cave entrance, but no farther. Inside, searchers found nothing. No flashlights, no shovels, no footprints leading out. The cave system wasn't vast. It wasn't complex. Experienced spelunkers insisted the boys couldn't have gotten lost so completely. Yet, despite weeks of searching, no trace of them was ever found. Some whispered that a cave-in buried them. Others feared abduction. In the decades since, theories have grown stranger. Rumors of UFO sightings in the area, odd lights in the sky, whispers that the boys had stumbled into something far older than the limestone caverns of Missouri. Today, a plaque in Hannibal honors the Lost Boys. Their disappearance remains unsolved, one of Missouri's most haunting mysteries. So what connects these stories? A prospector who stepped into a fog and saw another world. A cursed cave that swallowed warriors whole. 3 boys who entered a cavern and never returned. They all share a pattern: isolated wilderness, doorways where they shouldn't be, and vanishings that defy explanation. Are these portals to other dimensions? Spiritual thresholds? Or simply cautionary tales meant to scare us away from the dangers of caves and forests? I'll let you decide. One thing is certain: places like this linger in our imagination for a reason. They remind us how thin the veil might be between our world and something else. Something we don't understand. Something we may not want to. This is Missing Persons Archives. Thank you for watching and for remembering the lost. Those who walk into forests, caves, and shadows and never return. If you have thoughts, theories, or know of other stories like these, share them in the comments. Stay curious, stay vigilant, and we'll see you next time.